In today's video, I am going to reveal a simple trend line strategy that has helped me to make massive profit from the market. Trend lines are one of the most powerful tools in trading, but many traders use them incorrectly. One of the biggest challenges most traders face with using trend lines is simply how to draw them correctly. Because some prefer to draw them connecting the candle wicks, while others draw them connecting the candle's body. Now the big question is, which one is correct? Now, even after drawing the trend line correctly, how do we trade them? Should we enter a trade when the price touches the trend line, expecting a bounce, or wait for a breakout, anticipating a trend reversal? Well, over time, I've tested various methods and discovered the most effective way to trade trend lines. And that's exactly what I am going to reveal in this video. So if that sounds interesting to you, kindly hit the like button. Also subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on our new videos. Now let's get started. First, what is a trend line? A trend line is a straight line that connects multiple swing points on a price chart, helping traders identify the market's overall direction. For example, if we connect the swing lows and the trend line slopes upward, it indicates an uptrend. Conversely, connecting swing highs in a downward slope signals a downtrend. Many traders wonder if they can't simply determine the trend visually. However, trend lines offer more than just trend identification. They help traders spot high-probability trade setups that may not be obvious at first glance. For instance, when a trend line repeatedly acts as support or resistance, it can serve as a potential entry point. Similarly, when the price breaks through a trend line, it often signals a possible trend reversal. However, blindly entering trades based solely on trend lines is risky. To improve accuracy, we must combine trend lines with other trading concepts like price action, which we'll explore later in this video. Now, before we start using trend lines to trade, we must first learn how to draw them accurately. Drawing a valid trend line requires at least two major swing points. Swing points occur when the price moves to a level and then reverses. The key is to mark only major and obvious swing points. Once identified, draw a straight line connecting them, and you have a valid trend line. Let's look at an example. On this chart, we can clearly see about 4 swing lows. So when we connect them with a straight line, we have a valid trend line. Similarly, in this example, we can see price pushing down, giving us about 3 swing highs. So when we connect them using a straight line, we have a valid trend line. Now, a common question traders frequently ask is whether to connect the candle wicks or the bodies. Well, the best approach is to use the one that results in the most touch points. For instance, in this particular example, if we should draw through the wicks, we will only have 2 touches. But if we draw through the body, we will have 3 touches. So in this scenario, drawing through the body will be better. It is also important to know that trend lines are treated as zones, not just an exact line. So a slight variation in placement doesn't make a trend line invalid. As long as it remains within the general swing point area, it is considered valid. Another mistake traders make is forcing trend lines where they do not fit. For example, looking at this chart, you can see how price repeatedly violated this trend line. So if you try to force it, it will only result in losing trades. For this reason, you should always prioritize clear and obvious swing points when plotting trend lines. And if trend line doesn't fit in a particular setup, don't force it. The goal is to only take trades that have high probability of success. Before we continue, let me introduce you to something really important. As a trader, finding a reliable and trustworthy broker might be one of the biggest challenges you face. And that's why I present to you WikiFX. WikiFX is a globally recognized platform dedicated to providing transparency and security in the Forex trading industry. The platform provides you access to detailed broker profiles and up-to-date information on license and regulation compliances of brokers. So you get to know the inside out of these brokers before making decisions. All you have to do is click the link in the description below or in the pinned comment, and it will take you direct to the website. Then navigate to the broker section. And as you can see here, there are different brokers with their detailed information and scores, which will help you distinguish between legitimate and unregulated ones. You can also search about a specific broker just by inputting the name in the above search bar. The platform also offers educational resources and Forex industry news to help you get better in trading. So do well to check it out using the link in the description or in the pinned comment. Now, back to the video. Now that you've learned how to draw trend lines correctly, let's go over to how to spot quality trade setups with it. So the strategy requires just 3 steps. Step 1 is trend identification. You need to identify a valid trend with obvious swing points. Step 2 is trend line bounce or breakout. You need to wait for price to either bounce off or break out of the trend line. Then the final step is candlestick confirmation. Whether price bounces on a trend line or breaks out of it, we need a candlestick pattern for further confirmation to solidify our entry. Now let me show you some real chart examples. Now in this chart, we can clearly see that the market trend is bullish with obvious swing lows. So we draw our trend line connecting them. Next step is to wait for either bounce or break of the trend line. Now as price approaches the trend line again, you pay attention to the candle's behavior. Now notice that upon touching the trend line, price printed this bullish hammer, signaling a possible reversal from this point. But that's still not enough confirmation for us, so we still wait. And now, price gave this nice, bullish, engulfing candle. Actually, this is one of the best candlestick patterns to look out for when trading with this strategy. It tells us that price has now shifted momentum, and more buyers are stepping in. So having all these in check, we just enter a buy position at the candle close. Set your stop loss slightly below the trend line and set your profit target at 2 times your stop loss. And letting the trade run, you can see how price rallied up, hitting our profit target. Now let's look at a bearish example. Looking at this chart, we can clearly see a bearish trend with obvious swing highs. So we draw our trend line connecting them. Then, as the price hits our trend line again, we don't just enter blindly. Instead, we wait for candlestick confirmation. Now, as price prints this bearish engulfing candle, it is a clear confirmation that price has shifted momentum and more sellers are stepping in. Now, having all these in check, we just enter a sell position at the candle close. Then set our stop loss slightly above the trend line and our profit target at 2 times the stop loss. And letting the trade run, we can see how price pushed down, hitting our profit target. Now let's look at breakouts. In this chart, we spotted a bearish trend with 3 swing points, so we drew our trend line connecting them. Now when price got to our trend line again, instead of bouncing off, it broke above it instead. This signals a change in trend. So at this point, we should be more interested in buying. But we don't just buy randomly, we only buy at key areas. That's why we will always wait for a retest on our trend line. So when price retests our trend line and gives a bullish engulfing candle, we enter a buy position at the candle close and set our stop loss below the trend line and our profit target at 2 times the stop loss. And letting the trade run, we can see it was profitable. Same thing applies to a bullish trend. So this is a strategy that can take your trading skill to the next level when you master and use it correctly. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button, also subscribe, and turn on the notifications to stay updated on our latest videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.